at? We gonna sit right here?
Wherever you want to be.
It's a new table. I ain't never sat on this before. I need some counterweight.
Don't look at me.
Give me. Hold up, you're talking about?
Hey, get the chair.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me get my other one. Can you pass that? Give me the other one in this. In the refrigerator or the freezer. And Fred, can you give me that towel? On my stuff? Next to my stuff? Go ahead, Joe. All right.
When did you start doing the blindfold technique?
We've been doing the blindfold technique for a while. Even when I was in the amateurs. You know, we would do the spin around technique to where you're dizzy. And you have to remain focused with your hands up and get through the round. So getting through the round is something that I've been practicing for a while. You know, other than using my legs and using my offense and my defense. Just practicing all aspects of boxing, of the sweet science. I don't know what it's called today, but it's the sweet science, for real.
Brian, this is your second fight, 2014, you went by 5 in 2012. What was the mentality you made after having like a few fights this year?
I'm still hungry. That just showed my hunger, and once you get to a certain level, they kind of like to ease your hunger, and kind of like to slow it down. But that's the way the game goes. I don't think you have any top guy that's out there fighting 4 times a year. And then once you get to a certain ranking on a certain spot, it'll be senseless to who are you going to fight? If it's not for a title, or if it's not for getting to a closer position or a mandatory position, then what's the use of fighting? That's the name of the game.
So this small amount of fights is okay.
It's okay with me. I can show my hunger and hustle. But I got to give. If they don't come fast, then I got to wait. I got to be patient. It's one thing you have to learn. You got to be patient.
You were ready to fight in May. How tough was that layoff with mentally especially?
Yeah, it was kind of tough because I was ready. Of course, I'm always ready, and it was kind of like. It's more so threw off my timing because it's like, after this fight, I was planning, fight another fight or fight another 2 fights by the end of the year, and go back to me trying to fight 5 times. Just let them know, like, listen, I can go on back to back and still have no effects. So I was kind of disappointed briefly because it didn't happen at my expense. I wasn't the one that was hurt, so I just looked at it like, hey, it could have been me. So I just went back to the drawing board and relaxed 2 weeks, and then we got back at it. I came home. I was in Houston, so I came home, spent time with my son. I was 2 months away from my son, and I just spent time with him. Just maintaining that focus, even though I had a 2-week window of doing whatever I want. Even though my life is already disciplined, this is my lifestyle anyway. I didn't go out and do nothing stupid. I just remained focused. Knowing that this fight is going to be rescheduled very soon.
So mentally, where are you for July facing another undefeated heavyweight? Where are you mentally?
He's undefeated? There's some things even in an undefeated person that can be defeated about them. Your lack of confidence, your lack of will. Plus, he have a draw. I don't believe in calling undefeated fighters, with a draw, especially when it was questionable. But that part don't even matter. I don't even look at that. He's just another person in the ring. Whether I'm fighting somebody with a losing record or a winning record, I look at that person the same way because they're trying to take my 0 away from me.
Talk about your son. He's been away for so long from summer. What's that like? Especially when you have back-to-back layoffs. Like, what do you do to make sure that you see him enough and that you do enough for your own profession?
It's crazy because my son is exactly like me. He's actually born on the same day, and he's 5 years old, but he understands. So if I go and get him, when I come from the gym, or if we come to the gym together, I go and get him and we go home. He say, Daddy, you got to rest, right? Okay, Dad, give me the iPad and lay down. And it's just like, damn, my son is very understanding. So he knows that this is my work. I say, like when mommy go to work or when grandma go to work, this is Daddy's work. I gotta go to work and I gotta make it happen for us. And he understands that, even at 5 years old. And I teach him that because I was never told that, from each parent, coming up. So that's important.
Are you still working?
I still have the job. I'm on leave of absence right now.
The longest leave you've taken?
Yeah, longest leave I'm taking. I stop in every now and then. I actually stopped there recently. I kind of snuck in through the back door because I didn't have a full day. But just keep a tabs with them, letting them know, the situation, where I'm at with everything, and just being respectful. I owe them that much respect, no doubt.
Since you were in Houston for the fight, and then it got canceled, why did you come back here and train for this fight? Why did you go back to Houston?
Because we couldn't really schedule everything. Like everybody can't take off for that long period of time. Fred is employed here, so he couldn't take another 8-week leave. And then working with strength and conditioning coach, he was working with another fighter out in Vegas. So me getting away from home is one of the main reasons why that I would like to choose to get away from home, because it's focus. So I wanted to go to Vegas, to get away from home, to get on a different plateau of focus, and that's the reason why I went over there and we came back here. And it's real tough training at home, very tough. People know where I live, people know my numbers, they know where to find me, and it's just like it's kind of aggravating when you're so focused.
What did you learn in this whole camp?
I learned that I'm more happier when I'm away from home, because it's focused, it's a clear mind. Other than that, wherever I go, I take myself with me. So it's really no other difference. But it is a different type of focus, because the only thing you have to do, go to the gym, go get something to eat, come back home. That's it. And that's that focus. That's that tunnel vision. That's all I want to see anyway.
So what was that like? That's what you had for weeks straight. How's that compare to here? It's gym, job, something else?
It's just back to what got me stronger. So it's just I had a taste of what it could be like, and then I came back to what I'm used to. So now it's like, okay, I can strengthen my focus at home, being as though I know what focus really looks like. I know what it really is now. So I just practice that at home. So a lot of times I go straight to the gym and go straight home. Go in my building, the back door. Put 10 on the window. It's just because I need to go home, go to sleep, go eat. I go at the most low-key places, and I just want to be focused. Leave me alone. I want to be focused. No offense to anybody. I just want to be focused. Just leave me alone. I'm on my mission, and I just want to be focused. That's it.
Well, how do you fill the time when you're not training, sleeping, eating?
Oh, you said when I'm in camp?
You're in camp, yeah. When you pass the time, what do you do?
There pretty much is no time. It takes time to go to the store. Like, you realize how much time is being made anyway. But it's kind of like the day is almost over. Say like if you want to run to the store and get something, that'll take 2 hours, and you're like, damn, I could have been asleep 2 hours. So most of the time it's either go get something done, eat, or sleep. I have to contemplate between either three.
How was Philly in your fighting style?
Philly's in my fighting style because I think it's just the city. Period. Anybody that has a profession that goes and tackles something, then that's just going to be in them to be fierce. Philly is just a tough city. We have tough fans. We have tough civilians. Everybody just like. One minute they love you, one minute they hate you. They're very tough on you, so you have to be near perfect in order to please the Philly fans. So that just makes you work harder, knowing that one little mess up can bring a lot of criticism on you.
What was it like training with Erislandy Lara out there in Vegas?
It was good. It was good. He was very shocked. Everybody was very shocked of my abilities. Even when we went out running, of course I was the first in line for about maybe 3/4 of a mile ahead the whole time. It was just something they never seen before. But it was good, working alongside with an experienced person like that, because it gave me the feel of where I'm going to be, or where I'm at right now with some people's eyes. But I'm very humble, and I like to maintain my position right now. But it gave me a little focus of where I'm going to be, the type of person that I'm going to become, the type of person that I want to become.
Do you allow yourself to look ahead to what could become?
You said, do I allow myself to look ahead? I have it in the back of my mind, but I know the only way to get ahead is to focus on what's in front of me. And that's all that I do. I don't never look beyond what's in front of me. But I definitely probably kind of like plan and map it out and stuff like that. But I don't let what's way ahead get me too distracted, even though that's my goal. But anything in between my goal and where I'm at now, I can't really focus on.
Where do you feel you stack up right now in today's heavyweights?
I would think I'm number 2 behind Vladimir Klitschko, and I will only say Klitschko because Klitschko is Klitschko. He has a legacy in this generation, in this era. But other than that, a lot of the guys aren't active neither. A lot of them guys aren't complete either. Even if that sounds right, I'm still gonna say it. A lot of guys, they're just not. They just got a lot of talk, and most people's handlers are bigger than their fighters. So nowadays, these fighters, they don't know how to be superstars. Handlers, promoters, managers, and things, they create a superstar within a regular person, but that person don't really believe he's a superstar because their handlers are bigger than them. So they're like puppets. They're on strings. You cut one of the strings, they go limp on you. I'm the type of person that like to express who I am. Like I can't have Gary Shaw say all the time who I am and not have me prove who he said I was. It's like I can't do that. I speak for myself. I make sure that I do it myself and make sure that I make the people believe me before they believe somebody else that says anything about me.
Brian, you always say styles make fights. Style, how does all of that go into the 5-6 fight for us? How does that help you out in the game?
No, it actually helps me, but I would think my style would be more so a little more on the better of the Philly side. You take a lot of the great Philly fighters, and I'm only going to name one for instance because I can miss a whole lot of people. But you take a person like Bernard. He's still around, still boxing. Has a lot of discipline in the ring, and he's very mental. On top of if he needs to fight, I'm quite sure he will fight. So he has that Philly attitude, that Philly spirit with that special Philly mentality. And that's one thing that I have, and mentality is something that these boxers really don't have. They really don't embrace it. Like I say, their trainers or their mentality. You go back to the corner for a pep talk. Yeah, you could do this, you could do this. Most of the time my trainer tells me, don't ever tell me I can do this, because I know I can do it. I'm here, I'm in this fight, I'm sitting on this stool right now, I know I can do it. Just give me instructions and that's all I need.
How does that play out in the ring, like when you're fighting? How is that such a big
it plays out in the ring more so because of when I was learning, as I was learning, I was allowed to express my own self and find out where I am, without somebody telling me where I'm at, without somebody encouraging me. It's like, okay, it's like, for instance, it's just like swimming. If you got somebody holding you up all the time, kick your feet, and then it's a different story when you're out there by yourself. So in the gym, I have my trainer tell me instructions, give me instructions, but he can take those instructions with me to the ring, but not in the ring. Once I stand up and that bell rings, it's a whole different story. I'm on my own now, and only after every 3 minutes you get 1 whole minute, to go back and get that pep talk from your trainer. But if I practice me just, giving my own self that pep talk, everything that he says to me is extra, and that may give me an extra boost sometimes, but I don't really need it because I've already practiced, being that fighter because I'm the one that's getting in the ring.
So you think when it gets tough in the ring, that's the difference. That makes the difference. That helps.
Yeah, and my transition with the swimming, you'll be slapping at the water, you'll be drowning, like if you're talking about lifeguard. If you don't remember the instructions to how to survive, then you're in trouble. You're in deep water, and that says it all.
What I like about your style is that you I don't see you as the average heavyweight. You master the fundamentals of boxing. Being the mind frame of Van Holyfield, even your frame. Did you take pride in that, in learning how to box?
Did I take pride in it?
And learning the fundamentals first.
as opposed to?
It happened so fast. I just think that this place, this trainer, this person, this time and age, everything came together, and it just I guess it's just a work of God, because we never focused on really doing that. It's just how everything just went. And, I was the type of athlete that was able to embrace those fundamentals, and we just went at it. It just everything just came together, like without even planning anything. It just came together.
Your spiritual beliefs, how strong do they play a part in your conditioning?
My spiritual beliefs, how strong do they play a part in my conditioning? In my physical, in my mentality is just, if I go out and I run and I work hard, then I know that I'm in great shape, and I have faith in myself first. Of course, God steers my body, but I have to be in preparation. Most people can have faith in God, but don't even get out there on that track. You say, God ain't gonna save you that way. So I just use common sense and just pretty much, make sure I work hard, and have faith in God at the same time. That's true. That's a very good combination.
For those who don't know, what is that really pride? What is that really attitude? What is that really spirit? Like, if you link that to any type of survival in the ring?
It's a survival in life. It's survival in life, and it's probably not even in Philly. It's just Philly people may have the best way of expressing it. It's just a survival in life. The way as though we're not trying to be back here. We don't want to end up back here. I don't like it. I don't like it here. It's not the life I want to live. I want to be able to come back and be able to teach and be able to be an example to the people that don't even have a clue of how rough the city of Philadelphia is, and what it's like to even be able to step outside of it or get outside of it mentally. And that's the type. It don't really have nothing to do with in the ring. I'm fighting for me, my son, my family, and my surroundings, my people that surround me, and my loved ones.
You mentioned Bernard Hopkins, right? Do you plan on having a long career like that, or you
No. See, Bernard is a very gifted fighter, and he probably didn't plan on having that long of a career, but I can't. That's a very long career. He's very successful in it, but I just can't put 18 more years in front of my career. Of course he would have to, but boxing is not a long-term sport. Only a person like Bernard could do that. I'm a different person. But boxing is not a long-term sport. It's to get in and get out there. You got to be very careful. That's why I practice good defense and great fundamentals, so that I can have longevity if I want. But I don't want to have to be forced to have to fight after a certain time, because it's not safe at all.
When you're training in Vegas, you're at high elevation in Mount Charleston. How different was that training up there, and how much did that help prepare you those 2 weeks?
But it's all up in my mind. It's all up in my mind because most of the time when I was training there, like when I ran Mount Charleston, my numbers were high. My numbers were low as far as time. Meaning,
like good or bad?
High, meaning which was bad. And but it was the work. I felt like I was working, but the time really wasn't adding up. But the work was like triple. But it was kind of like I didn't really feel it. But the time had showed that the type of work that it actually was. So say like for instance, if I'm used to running 7-minute miles, which that's my average, and I go run Mount Charleston, and it's about 9.5-minute miles, and I'm like, damn, I thought I was doing good, but I am doing good, but it's just triple the work. But I'm not feeling it in my body, but I'm actually feeling it when I'm looking at the time. If that makes any sense.
You felt the next day more than you would?
Nah, man, no. It was crazy. I just was like, I wonder what's going on with me, because I'm not feeling tight. I'm not feeling nothing. After 4th of July, I did really start feeling a little tight.
How many miles do you run?
I started my career, running, all of the 10.5 miles, all of that. But now, I don't never stop working out. So I've not reached the peak, but I've reached the high level to where the only thing I have to do is to maintain. So all of those long runs, I don't really have to do it anymore because at any given day I can do it. The other day I ran 9 miles in an hour and 5 minutes. So when I feel like it, I can do it. But it's just mastering the lower runs now. Making sure that I can finish a 6 mile run in 39 minutes or something like that. So it's I just maintain and I reach something. So now the only thing I have to do is just keep it up.
How far is it up to Mount Charleston?
Well, how far
were you running?
It probably was only like 4 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was about 4 miles, and but the elevation was over 7,000 feet.
What's your weight down to?
What's my weight down to?
Yeah.
My weight is the same weight it was December 8th, 2012. The same weight it was June 14th, 2012. 225. 225. I don't go up or I don't go down. But something like in this heat, if you close all the windows and work me out for 2 days straight, I can go down. But most of the time it's like you contemplate whether you want to eat or sleep. So sometimes if you sleep after you have a crazy workout, then you can go down some, but you'll feel the effects. But 225 is my average weight.
So the high elevation
for the last 14 years.
The high elevation didn't do anything.
The high elevation
to the weight.
To the weight? Nah. I can't lose weight. You want to start losing muscle. I have no body fat. You want to take a pinch, take a pinch on my arm or take a pinch. You can hardly get a pinch on my leg.
But what would it be percent-wise?
I don't even know. But the lowest percent. The lowest. Even right here, this is about all you get right here. That's it.
Best condition heavyweight out there.
Best condition heavyweight out there. Your mind, it makes you clearer. It makes you think clearer. Because sometimes like nowadays the foods and stuff that people eat, they don't even realize the effects of it. There used to be a theory back in the day when they used to say, it's something in the Similac because all of the babies and whatever was affected, and they do statistics and things like that. But it's just learning the human body, the scientifics of life, biology and just focusing. Most people would say, where do you get your protein from? I had a picture. It's a picture and I'll put it up later. It's a picture of a gorilla standing there ripped, and the caption says, "Ask me where do I get my protein." So it's kind of like gorillas, bulls. They're some of the strongest animals. They don't eat meat, and it's like why should we have to eat meat? And there are successful ways of being healthy without eating meat.
You always been vegan?
No, it's 11 months into 24.
Okay.
What's like a normal meal? Like 2-hour food shopping service.
Size? 2 hours for food shopping at Whole Foods? Sheesh. My brother called me tight, but I say, man, Whole Foods expensive. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm always in Whole Foods, so I can't be that tight. You get 2 bags and it's $80. You're like, I need sugar. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's man, it's just the focus, man. It's just the focus.
Is it belief oriented or just?
Nah. Your body is a temple. We're down here on Earth, and you have full control over your body, and it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind.
You don't really need meat. It's been 6 years for me for no meat, so it's not a necessity. You don't need it.
Yeah. I'm trying to get this guy on it.
Never mind for a second. Your last fight at Madison Square Garden, you knocked out a pretty highly rated contender who had a big crowd in the house too. Did you recognize that walking down to the ring? Or did you realize, a lot of the Polish fans were coming out?
Nah, I really didn't recognize the crowd once I got into the ring, but I did see it when, right before I was able to, walk to the ring. I had to stand there for maybe 30 seconds before, TV, whatever was set up. But there were a lot of guys, calling me all types of names or whatever. I looked over to security. I said, just make sure nobody don't touch me. Yeah, man, it's just like I'm here to get in the ring. It's like all that talk they talking. I ain't worrying about none of that. Arthur Spilkin is quiet. He's sitting over there and on his stool, gassed out. Yeah, man. So it's like I'm looking over there. That's my focus now. I got people that's gonna protect me. So if all the crowd want to come rushing to the ring, then it's just gonna be an all-out war. But for now, it's just me and him in the ring.
And what would you say about that.
And we got a referee and judges.
On that fight, dude?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
What were your final thoughts on that fight? Looking back, was it a tough fight?
No, I think the fight was one of my easiest fights. Period. Because of where my focus was. That was my first fight under my no meat. It's not really a diet. It's my lifestyle now. I stole that from Bernard too, by the way. It was my first fight under my no meat rule thing. So I felt good. I was able to think clearer, and I just take it one fight at a time. Because just because something wrong happens don't mean we have to pinpoint it to one simple thing. It just could have been my day. So I just remain focused and do what I got to do.
Yeah, I thought that fight was close for about 4 rounds.
Close.
And then for 4 rounds.
What are you talking about?
For 4 rounds.
See, no.
And then you took over.
Listen, it was. Let me see. I guess 2 rounds could have went either way, and that's about all he had anyway.
Within the first 4, right?
Yeah, but that's about all he had anyway.
Within the first 4 rounds, it was a close fight, and then you took over, right?
Yeah, I understand. But see, the thing is, when most, I don't really like people to be biased for me because that creates a false judgment, and that's not helping me. So most of the time. I like when you say stuff like that. Okay, say it, keep it real. If you're not biased, then that's good for me because that makes me go and work harder. But most of the people who will be biased, it's like the Canelo and the Lara fight. Most people were Canelo fans. Every time he went and did something, he really hit arm and all that. It's just like, and it's just like y'all screaming and yelling, but y'all ain't saying nothing when he popping the mess out of you and you clean shots. You know what I mean? It's just like wow. But being that way, it really helps me. It really helps me to focus. But I mean, you gotta be able to know how to judge a fight.
Speaking of that focus, going into the last round, you knew you were winning the fight, but Fred told you, you gotta go out there and you gotta finish this.
Yeah.
Did you really believe that?
I know exactly where I'm at. It's like I'm a very hard-headed individual, but me growing up, me being hard-headed was one of the best things I could have ever been. Why? Because I can't be manipulated. I can't be it's hard for me to be misled because I'm hard-headed, because I think I know it all. Come to find out, I knew a lot. I didn't know it all, but I knew a lot. And it's like, wow, it's like, I'm so glad that I took all them ass whoopings from my mom. I mean, before I was coming to this world and really take a huge ass whooping from the world because I didn't listen to my mom because I always thought I knew what I knew. And then I'm an adult now. There's nothing more important to an adult than having your own mind. Having your own thoughts, your own theories, your own everything. You control your mind, you control yourself. So that's what that is.
Back to Mike Perez. He's a highly decorated athlete. He's got a big following. Do you feel that you need to go out there and impress?
Impress? A win is always a win. This is the sport. A win is always a win. Either way the win comes, it's still a win. Win spelled with W, loss spelled with an L. My W's is more than my L's. I love W's. I find a way to W. And if you think it's sweet, I'm a W. Double uppercut type of. But no, man, a win is a win. Most of the time I don't look to impress. I just so happen to be impressive.
You mentioned the Canelo Lara fight. I know you're rooting for your guy Lara. What do you think of that decision?
I literally think Lara did enough to win the fight. I literally think he won maybe 5 of the first 6 rounds, and he probably lost some of the middle rounds. But those last 3 rounds, like, come on, it's like even if y'all brawled the whole 9 rounds, 10th, 11th, and 12th, somebody's tired. Somebody's tired. Then you're going to use your bike anyway. Just because he got on his bike, the first couple rounds that he beat you, don't mean that he's not allowed to get on his bike at the end of the fight. Those are the rounds that I really think he was robbed out of, because those are the rounds that really mattered. Because 1 through 6, I had it 5 to 1, and he really was winning. And then Canelo started going to the body, but he wasn't really connecting. He was just aggressive. But the last 3 rounds, especially that last round, it was like, he closed it. Oh, he did it. And he made Canelo miss with some big shots. He made him look bad. Canelo can't cut the ring off. Canelo flat-footed. He can't even bounce in place. You know, he was exposed, and for them to take that away from him, I knew how hard it all worked, and for them to take that away from him, I actually felt that. And you know, I texted him immediately.
Let me flip that for a second, just speaking from a fan's point of view, though. That was a pay-per-view fight. A lot of people paid a lot of money. Would you be, you know, is that how somebody should perform on pay-per-view? Do the fans deserve a little bit of more bang for their buck, you know? I mean,
why is boxing and moving up? Why does it have to be a slugfest?
It is, but it's not fan-friendly.
It was
See, the fan-friendly. See, what people gotta put in perspective is the way the world is today is not the way it used to be back then. So, therefore, we're making an adjustment to who? To just the fans. That's what they want to see, but this is the sport. You have to respect the sport. The sport have a list of rules. The rules can't be bent. Rules should not be bent. And whether you're in the 21st century or the 19th century, boxing is boxing. Abide by these rules. The laws ain't changed. You know, it's just like, damn, if you steal a bag of candy, you still going to jail. You know, and then it's like, oh, well, they got free candy on the street and they trying to sell this, so I stole this because it's free down there. Cuff, you still going to jail. Abide by those rules. Boxing has laws, which is rules, and abide by those rules, whether you're fan friendly or not. I'm all for the fans. I'm not saying you are. I'm just answering your question. I'm answering your question. You know, this isn't a debate. She's not gonna hurt you. but you know, I'm just answering the questions. I'm being interviewed. I'm answering the questions correctly, and you know, making a great point out of both of y'all.
Yeah, but take a fighter like Guillermo Rigondeaux, you know, arguably the best fighter in the world, and look what they've done to him because of, you know, him just going by the book. Now he's fighting this weekend. It's on Unimas. Most people not even going to see it.
And they just, but you know, it's kind of like a job, you know, a company, you know, that's you know, they had people that worked there for 20 years, and they get a new president, and they're trying to maneuver the way the company is ran. So most people are retiring, most people are out. All their new hires are interns. They don't have to pay them much. You know, they get to pay them, you know, at the lower rate. And it's just the way they want to control it. So everything is being switched around and swapped around. You know, so now it's just like they're only trying to breed fighters for the fans instead of literally y'all damaging the sport. Yo, now you're getting fighters getting hurt. Fighters are dying in the ring, trying to live the new way of boxing. Where if there was a boxing god somewhere, yo, they'll all be going to hell. You get what I'm saying? It's just like y'all not abiding by these boxing rules. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of, you know, that's the translation that, you know, that I put it in. I'm an old school guy, so I'm going to be old school. And the way I came in, the way I was taught with old school training, your old school mentality, that's the way boxing is supposed to go. There's no way you're going to make me change. So I'm quite sure Rigondeaux is not going to change. And if he had to retire, which would be something that I wouldn't blame him for, that'd be a good thing. You know, that's who we are. That we are men. You know, we stand up for what we believe in. You know, we've been watching boxing all our lives. We never seen, you know, such stupidity. So it's just like, why make me the stupid person? You know?
The win against your number one contender, what would that mean to get that
I mean, I'll just be closer to my goal. I'll just be closer to my goal. That's pretty much what it is. It's not gonna mean anything else. There's no other way to put it. I'll just be closer to my goal. And you know, there's still one more to focus on after that. And that's pretty much where it's gonna be at. You know, my next step is, you know, winning this fight and focusing more closer on that goal, or whether you know, Vladimir want to say, you know, I want to fight an American, you know, you're up next, you know, something like that, then that's what it is.
And if it's WBC, it's probably going to take me Wilder.
Wilder is still
You said not now. You know, we're all about it now, and we're going to meet. Did you foresee this 2 years ago? That you would meet for bigger ramifications than just a normal fight?
What with him or me?
2
Period.
years ago, you said you weren't interested in that fight. We're going to meet later down the road.
Just because the fight's got to happen, I mean, I'm interested in it. You know, sometimes you just gotta. You know, I don't think Vladimir is interested in any fight that he fights.
But did you foresee you and Wilder meeting for a world title?
I believed it. I believed that it would happen one day. You know, I believed in his ability and the way he was moving and stuff like that. I knew, you know, if he continued doing what he was doing and I continued doing what I was doing, then hey, the top is the only place to meet up at. How would he match up against me?
Yeah, would he match up against you?
You answer that question. How would he match up against me? Hey, I'm a fighter. He's just a puncher. He's just a puncher. I'm a fighter. And I'm a puncher. And I'm a mover. And I'm a defender. And that's what that is. You know, you take Holyfield and Mike Tyson. Keep my earmuffs on. Make sure you don't try to bite me. So Mike, my man. I'm fucking. But yeah, I mean that's what that is. You know, he's a puncher. I'm a fighter. So we'll see when that day comes.
You don't know how he can take a punch either.
Yeah.
You don't know that. You never see how he get hit.
Yeah.
You said Perez kind of reminds you of Fedosov a little bit.
Yeah. They asked me if I had to compare him to any one of my opponents. I probably would compare him to Fedosov. You know, being short, being very compact, and a counter puncher. That's pretty much. Fedosov couldn't really move either. So neither can Mike. So.
On that same conference call last week, you were talking about your old daily schedule where you'd run to work. How far of a run from your home in North Philly to Federal Reserve is that?
That was 7 miles.
7 miles?
Yeah, 7 miles. The route that I took was 7 miles. I made sure I took the longest route.
And what were your hours? Like, how early were you doing that?
I had to be to work at 7:30. I was running late all the time. But,
you said they would let you...
Yeah. Well, they
shower there and all that.
Yeah, let me shower there and stuff like that. And, they moved my time up to 8 o'clock. They did a lot for me. I appreciate that.
And you worked till what, 4 o'clock?
Yeah, worked till 4 o'clock. 4:30 if I started at 8.
And then right to the gym?
Right to the gym.
Where are you living now?
Huh?
Where are you living now?
I still live around here. I live pretty much considered Winfield, but it's only 5 minutes away from here.
How long have you held that job since? Is it 8 years now?
September, make 9.
9 in September?
Yeah, 9 in September, and then the whole. Let me see. I've been in that building since 2006. So it's probably about. That's a long time. I ain't in the predicament to be doing no math for
me. You said you're going to go back after the
Yeah. I'll go back. Yeah, I'll go back. Say what's up to the people. Do my time there. And, make my decision. While I'm there.
So you haven't made a long-term decision yet?
Yeah, I probably have.
Okay.
Probably have made a long-term decision.
So you're not going to share it?
Nah, I would like to let them know first.
Okay. So what do you do there? What do you do there?
I'm a building mechanic.
Okay. So like what kind of stuff were you?
Anything that has to do with nuts and bolts, electric, carpentry, welding, Mr. Fix It. It's pretty much maintenance. Pretty much maintenance now.
I saw you posted on Instagram about some record you posted one week.
Yeah. 79.4 hours of overtime in one pay period. And 49 days straight. Most people say, I work doubles all the time. I say, but do you work 49 days straight? It's just like, I understand somebody maybe could work, an 80-hour overtime period, but working almost 50 days straight, that's some type of dedication right there.
That was before you were boxing, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I think that was right before I was boxing.
You wouldn't have time for that with boxing.
Yeah, but you know what, I think it was right. I think it was right as I started.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was right as I started.
The guys back at work, are they big boxing fans now? Do they kind of follow your career? And
everything? Them guys, they show support. That's like an extended family. Man. I mean, it's all love. It's all love. It's nothing but love.
How many guys back there were like in your group that you would work with? That
well, as far as my department, maybe about 30, 35 guys, and it seems like a lot, but it's like we're all like once we come together, it's maybe only seem like 10 people. That's how tight we are.
And do they come to the fights? Do they?
Oh yeah. They don't miss a fight.
That's cool.
I feel like Philly's got your back, at least at the moment. You're going on your second bus for the trip up there, right?
Yeah. Got a lot of Philly support. Shout out to everybody that supports from Philly. I'm feeling the love. I'm just trying to get everybody to be on one accord on something. If nobody else is the type of person that could that can make that happen, then I'm the perfect person. Just making sure that everybody's on one accord. No hate. Everyone, let's just show love. Support your own, and let's build this legacy. And I can't build a legacy without it actually being stable at home.